Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm here today with my August TBR and TBW. So I'm going to talk about some of the things I hope to read and some of the movies that I hope to watch in the month of August 2020. So if you guys have been following me on social media, you know that my TBR kind of got derailed a little bit last month because I had to spend a lot of time studying, and so I finally am done with that now. I finished it just yesterday. I passed the certification I was studying for, and so now it is just all entertainment all the time after I get out of work, which is exactly the way I like it. So for the month of August, you are going to see some duplicates that you may have seen last month if you watched my July TBR, but there is some new things there as well. Now, even though my reading did get derailed a little bit, I still managed to watch a ton of movies. So my July TBW, that was a success. There was no problems there. And so I have 5 new movies to talk about, and I think 6 books to discuss in this video today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Starting as always with my to be read pile, the first 2 I want to talk about are ones that were on there last month that I didn't finish. So we have Star Wars Return of the Jedi, which of course is episode 6, written by James Caan. And then we have Animorphs number 4, The Message, written by K.A. Applegate. So these are 2 that were on my July TBR. Return of the Jedi, I did start. I'm about, I think, 68 pages in. I'm on chapter 4. And then Animorphs I have not started yet, which I actually realized that I did not post my book number 3 review for Animorphs yet, which I need to get that done. But either way, both of these are on my August TBR once again, and this month they are going to be finished. I know it. I feel it. So I don't have anything blocking or stopping me from finishing them this time. So I'll get through both of these in August. I will mention that Watchmen was also on my July TBR, and I did not get to Watchmen at all last month. And I'm not putting it on my August TBR. I don't really know why, I guess. I feel like because there's so many movies that I have to watch that I don't want to put something as big and epic as Watchmen on my list. So that's not on my TBR, but if I can get to it, great. But it'll most likely be either September or October. But we will be getting back to Watchmen before the end of the year in order to complete that goal that I have set for myself to, finish 12 graphic novels, one of which must be Watchmen. So I will get back to Watchmen. It's just not going to be in this TBR video. Speaking of my goals video, one thing I talked about was my quarterly goals, so my goals for Q3. And one of those things was to finally read Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix. So this is one that I will probably start this month for sure, but I don't think I'll finish it this month just because it is a bit bigger. There are a ton of pictures, but like the pages that have text are rather, large. So we'll see if I can finish this, great. But if not, this will probably wrap over until September. But as long as I finish it by the end of the quarter, then I'm succeeding in my Q3 goal. So we'll see. So next one on my TBR is Paperbacks from Hell, written by Grady Hendrix. All right, so 2 new ones that you guys haven't heard me talk about lately. So first up is another Star Wars book, and I'm going middle grade just to keep, oh, look at that lenticular cover. So awesome. I think there's like kids in one picture, and then the creepy creature in the other. That's very cool. Anyway, Star Wars Galaxy of Fear. This is book number 1, Eaten Alive. So this is a really cool, like, Goosebumps style middle grade series that's set in the Star Wars universe. So right up my alley. I'm loving Star Wars right now. I always love Goosebumps because it's incredible. So this should be a ton of fun. And this series is written by John Whitman. And this actually was originally published in 1997. So we'll see if I enjoy this. It came out in the, the pinnacle came out at the peak of the Goosebumps era, whatever word I should use there. And so I really think this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to dive into this one this month. So Star Wars Galaxy of Fear, book number 1, which is entitled Eaten Alive, written by John Whitman. I'm going to get to this one in August. So I haven't yet filmed my July book haul, but when I do, this next book is going to be in there. And it is The Forgotten Island, written by David Sodergren. So I was lucky enough to receive this book from my wife for my birthday this past month. And so I am super, super excited to get to this. I received this one and one other one, which I'll talk about again in my July book haul. But this is the one I'm going to dive into first, just because of the other things I'm hoping to read this month. This one seems a little bit easier to read, as you can tell by the font there. It's about 300 pages. So I should be able to get through this one and the other books that I'm hoping to read this month. So Cannot wait to read this one. I've heard so many excellent things about this from like the horror community here on YouTube and just the booktube community in general. So this one should be a ton of fun. Basically, these people get stuck on a deserted island, or they get deserted on an island, and these creatures start attacking them. And that's really all I know about it. It's supposed to be very gory and just a ton of fun. So cannot wait to read this one. I am just so happy to own the physical form of this because I had it, you know, in my, I could have gotten it for Kindle for like $3, but I didn't want that. I really wanted the physical form for this. And my wife was nice enough to grab it for me for my birthday. So cannot wait to get to this one. The Forgotten Island by David Sodergren should be a ton of fun. And the final book on my TBR is an audiobook, and this is Columbine, written by Dave Cullen. So this is one that I will be reading via Audible because I own it that way. So I've actually started this one already, and it is fascinating. So I am super excited to continue reading this. Of course, this is kind of the definitive story of what happened in the Columbine massacre back in April of 1999. So this is horrific already. I'm about 3 hours into the 14-hour audiobook, so about 20, I think it was like 23 or 24% of the way through at this point. And oh man, it is nuts. So I am very excited to finish this one. It is actually one that was on my 5-star predictions list. So far so good. We'll see if it keeps going. It's incredibly detailed and just fascinating. It is so sad and so horrific, but totally engrossed in what's going on. So I am super excited to finish this one. So Columbine by Dave Cullen is the last book on my August TBR. So moving over to the movie side of the house, I'm going to be talking about 5 movies today. 3 in physical form, 2 are digital that I hope to stream. And the first one is A Quiet Place from 2018. So this is directed by John Krasinski, which I didn't realize that he directed it. So that fact just made me even more excited to see this one. This was another one that was on my 5-star predictions list. So I'm really expecting and hoping to enjoy this. So A Quiet Place from 2018 is the first film on my August TBW. So you might be noticing a theme with my last few TBR and TBW videos, and that is that I am actively trying to knock off my lists that I made at the beginning of the year. So I made a 5-star predictions list, I'm trying to get through that, and then I made a media to consume list in 2020. And so I'm trying to actively knock items off of each of those lists as I get closer to the end of the year here. And so I talked about some 5-star predictions that I'm trying to watch or read, and then I have Elita, Battle Angel, which was one of my movies to watch in 2020, and I think it's actually my last movie to watch in 2020. I still have like 1 or 2 5-star predictions to go from the film side, but in terms of the media to consume, that I think will wrap up the movie side of that, so that's really cool. But this one I have heard so many good things about. I heard it's incredibly underrated. I know it wasn't very hugely popular when it was in theaters, but it kind of has a cult following at this point, I would say. I do own the 4K of this, obviously. I've heard that the Blu-ray 3D, which is also included in this, I've heard that that's actually the best way to watch this. But because I'm going with my goals and trying to knock some of my goals out, I will watch the 4K disc of this just to knock another one off my 4K list. So Elita, Battle Angel is another film I'm hoping to watch this coming month. If you guys watched my Q2 goal update video or my mid-year goal update video, you'll know that one of my Q3 goals is to watch all of the films that I purchased that were new to me by the end of Q3. So, as you know, I've been buying a bunch of Criterion releases, and I've wrapped up my Kubrick collection, but I also wrapped up my Terrence Malick collection that is available through Criterion. And so because of that, I now need to watch Tree of Life, because that was a film I purchased from Criterion this quarter. But I have to start at the beginning, because I'm not going to jump into his last film or his latest film. I need to start where it all began, with Badlands from 1973. Just for the sake of it, this is spine number 651, and this is, of course, a Criterion Collection release. So I will need to watch Badlands, and then whatever Thin Red Line, and whatever the other ones are. I can't think of the titles offhand, but I have a handful of his to watch before I can actually get to Tree of Life, so I have to start trucking away at it. So Badlands is one I will definitely watch this coming month, just because I need to get to the rest of them. The next 2 films are actually both on different streaming services. So the first one is from Hulu, and this is Portrait of a Lady on Fire from 2018. And this is directed by Celine Sciamma. I'm taking a guess. That's probably I probably butchered it, but that's okay. I'm sure you guys will correct me down in the comments below. But so this is a film that was recently released on the Criterion Collection, but I decided to pass on it this month just because it was available on Hulu. So I wanted to make sure I liked the film before I spent the money on it. Now, I imagine I will probably enjoy it, and then I'm going to be kicking myself because I'll have to wait till November to actually pick it up through the Criterion Collection. But that's okay. You know, it's going to be there in November, so I'm sure I'm not going to be problems finding it or anything like that. So, Portrait of a Lady on Fire is supposed to be just a wonderful film. It is, of course, a lesbian film about these two women. I don't know the details. Like, the description is that this one woman is tasked with taking a portrait of a lady on this island that they are on. So that's really all I know about it, but I've heard really good things. So I'm going to check out Portrait of a Lady on Fire from 2018 in the month of August. The last film on my TBR for August is one that's available on Shudder, which I just signed up for. I think it was yesterday. I ended up finding a free 30 days thanks to my buddy. And yeah, so I had it in the past and I didn't really watch much on there. I think I watched like the Rec series, REC, but that was about it. And so I ended up canceling it. But I got free 30 days and there are specifically 2 films I was wanting to watch on there. The first one I watched this morning called Host. Super impressed. If you liked Unfriended, if you like Paranormal Activity, you'll probably like Host. Definitely recommend that one. But then the other one is called The Pool. And so that's the one I'm putting on my TBR. So The Pool is released in 2018, and it is a story about a man who is trapped in a pool with a alligator or a crocodile, I don't know which, and he's just trying to escape. And I think it's one of those one location films, which I love so much. And it sounds silly as all hell. So I have to see it. And so that is going to be the last film on my August TBR is 2018's The Pool, which is available on Shudder. Oh man, I got a lot of things to do in the month of August, but I'm super happy about that. I feel liberated after the month of July. The amount of time I spent studying for that certification, we literally studied for 9 months, but I really started diving in heavy, like for the entire month of July. And I'm just so happy that that is out of my life and these are all back in. So, you know, on top of everything I mentioned here for my TBW, I also have a ton of films to watch in order to complete my Q3 goal. So definitely check out my haul video once I post that in the coming week here, and you'll get to see everything that I need to watch. So super excited to dive into all those as well as everything I talked about today. So let me know down in the comments below, what are you planning to read? What are you planning to watch? What are you planning to play? Anything. What are you planning to do in the month of August? I'd love to hear about it down below and have more of a conversation with you guys down there. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube if you haven't already. And if not, thank you anyway for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.